Guys, welcome back to another video. And like always, we're going to jump straight in, not going to waste your time. This is no frills. This is completely value led. Okay. This is all about giving you all the content here and that doing the talking. So what we're talking about is what I would do in the next 7 days if I needed to leads for 10 plus discovery calls this month. So what we're talking about is lead generation. A lot of people are stressed about lead generation. A lot of people are confused about lead generation. Let's stop stressing about leads. Here's the simple truth, right? It's not as scary or as bad as you think. Okay. First of all, everyone has lead problems at all different levels of their business. People just starting out earning a few K a month, people that are in the 6-figure club, people that are super well known with massive followings. All of them struggle with leads at certain points. It is a normal cycle within businesses. Okay. There's different seasons in businesses. Certain things that worked before don't work as well. You need to evolve, optimize. That's normal. Nothing to be worried about, okay? So understand that so you can respond accordingly, not with fear, but with understanding. If I do the right things and I sow the right seeds, I will generate leads, okay? I will, bear fruit. If you sow seeds, you will bear fruit. The second thing to really understand here is you're going to have to sacrifice either time, so a lot of time, or skill development, taking a lot of time to learn a skill and do something very well, or cash to generate leads, okay? And more so at the beginning. Let me break that down really quickly. So it's either going to take you a lot of time, so you have to take loads of time to reach out or to write a blog or to whatever. You can lower that time as you get better and get more or more experience, but it's going to take time. Okay, if you don't use cash, especially, it's going to take you a lot of time. You've got to be the grunt to do that. If you're going to bootstrap, it's going to take time. Therefore, it requires you to be disciplined. It's going to require motivation. You can't go and moan to anyone else. You have to do it consistently and show up in order to get the benefits of leads. Okay. The second thing is it requires skill development. So you need to learn from people. I've always been a proponent of paying for people that are excellent at this and then to learn the skill, because then it's going to save me a lot of time. It's going to generate me more cash. That's going to be a huge return on investment. But there are things like this, and I'm teaching you now, that you can obviously learn skills to do, but you need to become very good at it. One way to generate leads, is a common one, is just post on social media. But if you just post on social media, you're not going to generate leads, or you're going to waste a lot of time and a lot of money. However, if you learn how to do excellent content, so develop the skill and do that properly and invest that time, energy, and cash in order to learn that, then what you can do is generate leads from that. So I want you to think about that mindset as a business owner. And the final thing is you're going to need cash as well. You're going to need cash to generate leads either now or in the future. You've just got to look at the return on investment. Okay. So there is a cost to lead development. That is fine. It's nothing to be scared about or worried about or be like, oh no, poor me. That's the way it is. Okay. And it's fine. It's a good thing. It makes you sharper, use your resources, and gives you wisdom. And just to reiterate, more so at the beginning. At the beginning, it does take more time. It does take more time to develop skills, and it does take more cash relatively. So you tend to be earning obviously less cash and revenue at the beginning. So therefore, it tends to take you, or it tends to be a higher proportion. That is fine. As long as you're getting a return, that's great. You don't want to be a millionaire straight away, or I did this tomorrow. It takes a little bit of time, and that is fine. And the other thing, to give you a guide, because people get very overwhelmed and confused about this, you basically need 3 inbound, outbound, and paid methods. Is generally an advice here. So if you had one inbound method, one outbound method, and one paid method as an example, that's great. That means that they're all covering each other. So if your outbound starts to go down, or maybe you're a bit ill, you're driving it and you're a bit ill and you don't do as much, your paid method will pick it up, or your inbound will start to pick it up, and vice versa. Okay. If your ads, on paid, let's say ads start to suffer for a month, we had that recently, funny enough, ads didn't get the return that they usually get, then guess what? Our outbound really picked it up for us, and we generated a lot of clients there. Okay, you need that because it spreads and hedges your bets. Okay, for those who don't know, you can obviously Google these. I won't give you a long-term thing, but inbound is like attracting leads to you. Outbound would be reaching out, and then paid methods is obviously what you pay for to get in front of people, okay, for your visibility. But that's the simple truth, okay? All of these things, it's just to really simplify, because people have a real fearful attachment to getting leads and a lack of it, okay? Don't have a lack. There's loads of leads out there. As long as you have a great offer, you're fine. Now, what I'm going to do quickly is you can pause and maybe screenshot this. So go through. So we've got, first of all, free, which is a time and a skill cost, or paid, which is a cash cost. Okay. What I'm basically telling you is you pick. Okay. Either way with leads, it requires effort or it requires resources. That's probably better. It requires resources. It's either your time resource or your skill resource or your cash resource. That's the way it works, okay? And what you're looking for is a return on investment in that. And you need to look down as the strategist and say, I've got to manage my resources here, which is my time, my skill, and my time to develop a skill set, and my cash. How am I going to do that in order to turn £1 or into £3, or 1 hour into a client? That's the way you've got to be thinking about it. So just have a quick screenshot first, because I've got loads of ones here. Another screenshot there, bang. I'll smile for it. And then another one down here, okay? What I'm not going to do is go through all of these in masses of detail, because some of them are self-explanatory. But what this shows you is the most common things that you can do to generate leads. What I want you to focus on all of these as you're reading these and as I go through is not to have any certain biases in your head, not to think about, well, this person told me that, or to think about, well, I'm scared of that, or this hurts my ego, or I don't want to bug people. Don't think of it from that perspective. Think about it from a different perspective, which is, I have a market. My market wants to be communicated in a particular way. How do I get in front of them? What is the best way to do that? Okay. The reason being is, like, some markets, cold calling is brilliant if it's done correctly. In other markets, it's horrible. And in some markets, it's good, but then you can do it horribly because you don't have the skill set. You see? So with something like cold calling, which is like the most triggering thing ever, it's like, I can never cold call anyone. Let's use that as an example to test your nervous system. If that is done correctly, I'm telling you, amazing businesses have been built, and they've been built in a great way. Okay. But it's got to match your market, first of all, and you have to do it with the correct skill set to do that. And that's the most extreme one. In other things, then, when you look at things like content, if we apply the most common one that's used, like just post on social media, that does work. However, for 95% of people, they are spending way too much time on it, and it's way too ineffective that they're not getting leads. And they're like, well, I'm posting all the time and I'm not getting anything. Why? Because they don't know the skill, so that they're posting just content for the sake of it. And therefore, they're not generating excellent content that is selling to people, and they don't even understand the concept of what selling is, like what that's about, how they do that. So then they either feel like they're going to be salesy, or they come across as salesy, or they come across as desperate because they don't know what to do. Okay. So to tie that nicely in a bow, I want you to approach this as, I'm a business owner. I need to get eyes onto my offer. If my offer is good and I get eyes onto it, the law of averages states that I will sell. Okay. But if you only have a few eyes on a great offer, it's going to be very difficult. If you have a lot of eyes on a shit offer, even a shit offer, you probably still will sell if the offer is still quite generic, even though I'm fully against that, as you see all my videos. But still, it's going to be tough. Okay. And if you have a few eyes on a not very good offer, which is most people that are sort of below the 7.5K a month, then you're going to be struggling. Okay. And then you're going to be like, why isn't it working? I've just told you why. Not very good traffic to not very good offer. Okay, so let's go through a few of these. I want to use some ones that are triggering, and I want to use some ones that are really common. That's what I'm going to go through. You screenshot these, and feel free to screenshot if you haven't already. So tailored DMs. Being social, basically, on social media. Tailored DMs can be a lot of things. One thing that it's not is, I wouldn't say scattergun loads of people with cold pitches, no tailored anything like that. If you're going to pitch or reach out to people that you feel that would be a good match for you, the best way to do it, first of all, is sort of like lead with some sort of interest, lead with a question, lead with a compliment. Okay. And don't do this in some sort of cringe way that's really see-through. Like, be genuine. If you do that to say 50 people, and you do that 10 people over 5 days, and you do that, you're going to start some conversations. You're probably going to lead to some discovery calls doing that. But if you do, say, I would say 100 people, and you're a bit more cold and hardcore and whatever, you might get 1 or 2 people over the line, but even then, they're probably not going to be great clients, I would say, in that way. So have tailored DMs in the ways that I just said. Lead with value, lead with service, lead with questions, those sorts of things, okay? But don't be desperate, don't be a dick. Let's look at it. Let's jump to the side then on the paid ones. Let's do the other two. Ads. Ads are the best possible thing you can do to scale your business. They are also probably the worst thing you can do for your business. Why? What we talked about earlier. If you have a bad offer and your ducks aren't in a row, like a good funnel, you don't understand your market, you're not targeting the right people, okay? Which is very easily done in about 2 weeks. We do it with people like in the academy and things like that. Sometimes, and you're always developing it, but it's around 2 weeks. Ads need that. If they don't, it's just throwing money down the drain, okay? Ads should be seen as the greatest opportunity, but the greatest threat. But what I want you to do, and everyone to do, is to do their fundamentals, like I've said on other videos, so that you can go into ads and you're turning £1 into £3. It's fantastic. So ads, they're really key. don't be shy of any of these paid stuff I'm saying. Even if you guys are here and you're sort of at the 1K, 2K a month, like you're that low bit, you're just starting, don't be afraid to invest some money into these things. It's good. Like, as long as it's like relevant and you're not like betting the farm on it, like just make sure you can do these things. It's great to have it in the background and just scaling it up. Okay. And, paid can also be what isn't in here. You don't necessarily have to have something like, say, social media management, but paying someone to really teach you social media and do that with like a done with you format, that's an excellent investment. Because what's going to stop you doing is posting for 6 months. Being like, I haven't got any inquiries, or no one's engaging with me. I get that. You can stop that in an instant by spending a few £100 and getting that nailed to then generate a few £1,000s. You see what I mean? That's thinking about the business owner instead of the fearful lack. Okay, which we can all fall into when we feel like I need leads. Okay, let's look at some other things here. Some of these are self-explanatory. One thing I want to do here is look at things like reality and authenticity. If we have times where we need to fill a gap, I'm going to go online and be like, listen, guys, we've got a few spaces here, and I'm looking for people that want this particular result. May not be for you, and we need to have a little chat about it to double check it's right for you. But if that's somewhere on your radar, reach out, okay? And I can do that on email, I could do that on DM, and somebody comes in and go, yeah, that sounds like me, can I have more info? And then I would go from the place of, okay, can I just ask you a few questions first, and just I want to make sure if this is even worth a conversation. And then I'll ask them about things like maybe budget, but then I'll ask them about like what they want to do, where they're currently at. Maybe I have a questionnaire ready, but I can do that, and that's real scarcity. And then maybe I can add things, I can adapt this sort of strategy where I can have a particular bonus, and not a bonus like, here's my free PDF, some shit like that. A real bonus that is like super valuable, that people are like, I can't believe I'm getting that for free. So then they're going to be like, I'm going to jump in, okay? Because I've been waiting in the wings, now I'm going to jump in. Let's keep going down here. Let's jump over to here. So partnership program or referral program, you can do that. Be really generous. If you're like charging like £3,000 for someone to work with you, pay someone really generously. Like pay them £500 for like referring you, and make sure then you have a good retention strategy. So you're delivering so high that your lifetime value is not the £3,000 they spent on you, but is the other stuff that they buy in the future from you, which may be £5,000, £10,000. Okay. It is worth spending £500 to acquire a customer for a high ticket. Okay. Again, you see how I'm thinking here? I'm trying to think, how am I going to turn £1 into £3 or £5? That's the way to think about it. Lead with that instead of leading with fear. Other things here, you can see lots of things. I want to point to this one, like doing lives with others, or generally doing what's known as OPA, which is other people's audiences. It's great as long as you're in a place where you have credibility, you're really clear on the problem you solve, you're not generic, and you're not doing it with other people that are like also like really struggling. I come from a place that if you can have someone that you can leverage, that have the right sort of market, that you can collaborate with, and you want to work with them as well, like it's a good vibe that you have between, then I would say it's a good thing to do, then go on lives, okay, and to make yourself more visible and do that. But you need to be consistent. This isn't something that you do, once and then you pat yourself on the back. This is something you need, like an outreach strategy whereby you get on lives with lots of other people. You're being social with lots of people in the either your niche or other niches that would need what the problem that you solve as well. And when I say niche, I mean more audiences is a better word to use there. Other things, being social on social media, like, meaningful comments, and then having an optimized profile. So doing that, so reaching out to people and having meaningful comments on them, that drives visibility to you. If they follow, then reach out, start a conversation. But sound that takes so much time, so much effort. Yes, it does. What the other option is, you do ads and you pay. Like it's up to you. Like some of these, you're like, oh, I know all this sound. Yeah, you've got to do it. Like you need leads. Like if I was to do this in 7 days, I would be doing I didn't even need to do 3 of these. I'd probably be finding 1 or 2 of these and going completely ape shit, like doing them. Okay. I would be like, let's do that now. I would send out God knows how many DMs, God knows how many emails to people. I would tailor them all. I would do Loom videos like to them that are really specific, like this, like saying, hey, I've seen this or whatever, and this is what I do in offer. And I noticed this. I'm more than happy to point you in the direction of that. Be helpful, be valuable. I would do that. And then, if I had some cash behind me as well, I would do some ads. I'll get those set up to do that. Okay. Let's go down here. Other things that you look at as well, like SEO, these should be in place in the background. Some of these are like slowly catchy monkey. Valuable lead magnet. Again, this shouldn't just be a shitty PDF. This should be something that is like really valuable to people, that is really solving a problem where they get from it, where they think, I almost owe you. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, when I'm creating this content, one, I enjoy doing it because I actually feel like it's a bit of a creative outlet for me. But the other thing is that it's really important. I pretty much like, as I've seen throughout my career, if I give people like more than they're expecting, it'll come back to me good in some way, whether it's them or someone else. It'll come back to me good in some way. And the obvious ones are things like they'll become a client or they'll follow me. But it can just be like a good DM that you might receive, or like a good comment like that you get from someone that can give you a boost on the day that you really need it, or they refer you to someone else, or they come back in a year's time when they're ready. That stuff just happens, okay? And that's what comes on to our main thing. So basically choose 1 to 3 of these things to spend a lot of time on. Okay, so you either do it yourself and spend loads of time on it, become like obsessed at like smashing email marketing or creating excellent content, not just content, excellent content, or get someone to teach you, pay someone to teach you. I don't want to pay, I want a budget. Okay, then go back to square one. You've got to then spend a fuckload of time on it and do that and be resourceful, and then hope you're not doing it incorrectly. Okay, I always give you the truth, guys. That's the truth. Or you can outsource it. So that's another paid thing. So you can outsource things like ads. Some of you are in that position. Some of you might not be. But those are the things in that scale of almost like your time spent on it goes down, but your cash out goes up. You've got to decide where you are on that. But don't be scared of either, okay? Spending a lot of time on something is good fun. Spending cash on something is good fun. Makes you sharper. And remember, return on investment is about the law of averages. If my offer is good and enough people see it, I will make sales. Okay, so if I have a great offer and enough people see it, I will make sales. Okay, and think about it like 100 people. If I reach out and do 100 people, I tailor it nicely, whether it's either a paid or an inbound or outbound. 100 people see it, and I'm starting to build up a warmer relationship with them. I'm actually connecting them one-on-one, and I do that with just 100 people. I'm gonna get discovery calls. I'm gonna make sales. It's the law of averages. Okay, and I even said to you, even if your offer is like decent, not even good or great or world class, which is what we aim for, you're still going to get there by doing that, okay? As long as you can get results for people. Okay, guys, hope that was helpful. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, share if it's valuable to a friend as well, and I'll catch you in another one. Take care.